Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, inhabitants of Locker C18, welcome back to JKWD podcast, where we're teasing the episode a little bit. Kelvin, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, young man. Doing good.
Young man.
We've had,
somebody else here?
You, young man. I'm comparing you to, me.
To you? Okay.
Yeah, life's good, man. We got some good weather here. And, I know I keep talking about the weather, but we're in upstate New York, so you just never know.
That's true.
So it was in the 90s a few days ago, which is unseasonably warm for these parts. And
yeah,
that makes me get scared about August. So, because if it got 90 in June, August could be really ugly. But we'll see how that goes. But anyway, life is good, and
good.
I'm having a lot of fun, having a lot of conversations, staying away from news, which is sometimes effective and sometimes not. But I'm a really positive guy, so life is okay.
Good.
How about you?
So I'm good. We're recording this a few weeks ago. By the time everybody hears it, and it's my first week, like really back on a half marathon training. I use a goofball weather app called What the Forecast. That swears about the weather. If you can put it on a don't cuss so much setting. But
that wouldn't be your setting. No,
that would not be my setting. But I opened it up this morning. We record on Fridays. Friday's my one rest day. Try to get a workout on Monday. I get a run Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. So Friday's my rest day. And I opened up the app this morning and it says, "It's a beautiful day out. Get your butt out there and do something." It's my one rest day, and the weather app's yelling at me. It did not use those words, of course, but we got to keep it PG-13 here.
I appreciate that. I know I'm a prude or something. I don't know, but that's me. I especially on the air, but
Yeah, I think that's your public persona.
You have a different public personality than I.
Well,
weird.
It's because my public persona is not that much different from my private persona. Because my public persona tends to wear pants and a shirt. My private persona, you want to give me a heads up. You want to give me a 5 minute.
Careful, don't scare me.
You want to give me a 5 minute heads up before you show up. You want to just ring the doorbell unexpectedly.
I promise. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, it works. So, yeah. Glad to be here, though, got to say.
We're brought to you today by Vitamin K. I can't even say the name of our sponsor, which happens to be your daily newsletter.
Thank you so much.
You do the read. Tell us about Vitamin K Daily.
You're tired, yeah. Vitamin K Daily, that's right. Philosophical supplements for your attitude health. Coming to you 5 days a week, first thing in the morning, to help you adjust your attitude, calibrate your attitude, and get you through the whole day. You can get 4 weeks free from www.vitaminkdaily.com. Again, that's www.vitaminkdaily.com. And if you like it at the end, you can continue it ad infinitum for just a mere $24.95 a year. That is 9.5 cents per day for your attitude health. What's your attitude worth?
So that's vitaminkdaily.com. 4 weeks free. Cue the music.
Domination podcast, where we talk about better humanhood and teach you how to dominate your world. You ready? Here we go.
Hey there, that was fun.
Come on, it's your newsletter. You read the ad. Come on.
I can do it. Apparently, you've got company.
Yeah, I don't know what's
alerted on
going on
something.
out there. Yeah, I think what's actually happening is that my wife and my daughter are on a FaceTime call with somebody, and so Java thinks there's somebody else in the house.
Got it.
She'll calm down eventually, maybe. We're getting her trained. So, that barking actually is a confidence issue. So hopefully that's something we're going to work on, trying to get her a little more confident. Because when you're a 120-pound German Shepherd, you don't have to yap much.
Mm-hmm.
You just look mean. When you're a 30-pound Lab Dachshund mix, maybe you got to yell a little bit because nobody's going to believe you're going to protect anything.
Yeah, well, there is that. Yeah. But it'd be cool. So
anyway, speaking of confidence, I guess, confidence and a little perspective on us. It's been such a weird year that, if you're aware of like simulation theory, the idea that if you remember the Sims video games, like you created this world and then it just kind of existed and you had to check in on it.
Right.
So there's like this theory that somebody designed one of those worlds and we're the participants, like we're the people running around in the simulation. And this year seems to be supporting that hypothesis a lot. But it
They're
got me thinking.
Changing the rules with no notice is what I'm saying.
So it got me thinking about the movie Men in Black 2. And there will be spoilers alert, but it's an 18-year-old movie. You don't get to be mad at us for it. So there's this scene in Men in Black 2 where Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith, these are the main characters, they go to open a locker C-18 at Grand Central Terminal. And in it, they find a group of furry creatures, like a whole society, and they've built their worship around a watch that Tommy Lee Jones' character left some years ago. And there's a video. You remember video stores? There's a video store membership card.
I do.
And they've built a whole religious system around these two things. Kay, that's Tommy Lee Jones's character. He's the light bringer. He left the timepiece. It illuminates the streets, tells them what time it is. They've got the card from the video store. We'll have the YouTube clip in the show notes over at jkwdpodcast.com. But
you must visualize this. Yes.
Yeah. So the card says be kind, rewind, and they're like look their spiritual leader has taken this to be look into your past so that you can move forward. Reflect on who you were, that you can move forward with kindness.
Not so much different than Moses coming down from the mountain
exactly.
with the tablets.
Exactly. So 2 for 1 every Wednesday. Like give twice as much as you receive on that most holy of days. And large adult section in the back, and we'll let you. But so this whole thing, apart from the meeting the watch, but the whole thing is a setup for the end of for a callback at the end of the movie where Will Smith's character is upset. He had to give up the girl. There's your spoiler alert. Here's your spoiler. He had to give up this girl. So he opens his locker to find that they've moved the creatures over to, from Grand Central over to his locker. Give him a little boost because, he has now left the watch and he is now the object of worship. And Will Smith says, his character Jay says, it's really sad. They gotta know that there's more out there. And Tommy Lee Jones brings Will Smith over to his door that says, "Emergency, do not open ever." So he kicks it open. And what I see is that they're in, it's just a door to
They're in a locker, yeah.
whole other world. They're in a locker in a much bigger world. And, so, it wouldn't surprise me if this is true, right? But here's the thing. If you find that door, find a door, there's a warning, do not open, emergency, don't touch. Hey, do you open it? And B, if you open it and you find that it's the locker door, that there's a much bigger world out there, are you happy with what's in our locker, or are you going to go explore?
Good one. I like that. I think you just handled the whole podcast right there.
Well, questions to you, then. Let's have our thinky game here.
Well, I think we can actually liken that to, man, that sounded almost educated, didn't it? Liken that to what we do really anyway, because there are so many different things and beliefs and little cubby holes we can go down, from the knowledge we get, from the phobias we have, that, we don't want to face anything else, that a lot of us put ourselves in a little locker like that, so we can stay comfortable. We're familiar with everything that's in the locker, at least most of the things that's in the locker. And when it's time to go look at something else, nope, don't want to touch that. Don't want to. Nope, that's a new belief. I'm not interested in exploring that at all. This is what I'm comfortable with. This is what I know. And then we stay there, with the downside of never really knowing what's outside our little locker, or even getting a glimpse of it.
Well, is that a downside? Let me challenge you on that in a sec. Is that a downside? Is it bad that we build our little safety cocoons and we live in them? You talk about you talk about not wanting to follow the news. Mm-hmm. And some gets in. You get some here and there, but not following the news is kind of an ignorance is bliss thing, right? If you don't keep hitting me with this, if you don't keep hitting me with fear mania, then I'm not just walking around afraid all the time. Mm-hmm. So, sometimes not knowing what you don't know is a nice feeling. Is that bad?
It doesn't have to be bad until you think that's the only thing there is. Because, one of the things we talk about diversity in the world, is we're meeting people all the time that came to us from a different locker. Mm-hmm. So when they come up and we start telling you about what's in our locker, and you go like, "Oh no, no, that's evil. That's someplace else." Not wanting to go to their locker is one thing. Denying that it exists, or meaning that it shouldn't exist, is another thing. And I think there needs to be what's that word? Needs to be. But I mean, I guess it's really healthy that if we might think it's healthy that if we don't allow those other thoughts in, we don't actually have to entertain them. We don't have to think about them. We don't have to make any new decisions. We don't have to make any new assessments. And that can be comfortable, but can also be dangerous.
Yeah, and there's a lot of discomfort and comfort, right? Especially if other people around you are willing to explore those other lockers or are willing to climb out of their own locker and wander the world. There's the chance that you just get left behind.
There is that.
Like you stay in your locker. All your friends and your family go exploring other lockers. Yeah, there are a lot of people, and my part of the part of the world that I currently live in. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of people who born, raised, inherit their daddy's land. They never go anywhere. They hear stories. They might go to a football game a couple hours away, mm-hmm. but they go to a football game and they come back. They don't go explore that new city.
Right.
They got their 5 restaurants that they grew up going to, and that's where they bring their family to.
Yep.
You only cook your brisket one way. You never try another way. And then there are people who are constantly on the go. They're like, well, that culture's kind of cool, kind of like it, don't love it. Moving on to that next locker, gonna love. Then I'm going to go over to K-12, and I'm going to go to M74, and hey, P8 is kind of nice. I think I'll stay here for a little while. Mm-hmm. What does B114 look like? I'm going to go there. He said, I think those are all even numbers if we go back and listen. But
it seems to be, yeah. And you know what? I have to admit that is an entirely different view, honestly, that I'd never really considered, despite the fact I've seen that movie way back then. But just the conversation we had on it this morning, I've got my locker. I've got a couple more locker keys than a lot of people.
So you've been some places. I mean, you settled down. You settled down in a place that you've been for 28 years, mm-hmm. right?
That sounds like a long time when you say it. Yeah, I have.
But before you did that, mm-hmm. you'd seen a lot of places, and you still travel some.
Mm-hmm. Plan to travel?
Probably not. I would say probably not even as much as you'd like to. And so you've got a home base, but it's not your cocoon.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
It's not your tiny little locker. Your locker's a little bigger than some folks. And I'm the same way. There are a couple places I'd like to see still. A couple places I've already seen that I'd like to show my family. Mm-hmm. But I got my home base. I like it here. Yeah, I'm still gonna travel some, go visit other lockers. I like where I'm at. Mm-hmm. That's good. But I've done some exploring. I'm not one of those people who hasn't seen other lockers, B only has to acknowledge that other lockers even exist when an inhabitant of one of those lockers shows up right in front of me.
Right.
That's a tough one, right?
Well, there
are no other lockers. Oh, heck, you're not from my locker.
Yep. There's a lot of that out there. So, and like those guys who live in a locker where they put on the squirrel suits and like fly like Rocky the Flying Squirrel down mountainsides and stuff.
I don't think I'm gonna get in that locker.
But I'll watch. Look, I'll watch through the window. Wait a minute. Lockers got windows? Yeah.
They can, sure.
Yeah.
Put a window in.
Build them any way we want them.
That's right.
Oh yeah, but that's an analogy that that really fits. And if we start looking at it deeper, well, the problem, the thing is, all of our lockers have transparent walls.
Well, that's the thing that they don't, right? Like they have a wall that can be transparent if we choose to open it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like you got to open your blinds, you got to open your locker door, otherwise you don't recognize that you're in a locker, right?
There is that.
Like that's what that whole final scene is. Like,
that's correct. Yep.
Warning: do not open, do not touch this door, because once you open that door, you know things, and once you know things, you might have to explore some. And once you explore some of them, your old ideas might be in trouble.
Yes, that is correct. I had a similar talking about lockers back in the day when I was introduced to the world of Reiki and energy healing.
Mm-hmm.
That was a locker door. I'm like, boy, there's some weird people in there. Ever. These days, it looks like probably about 40% of my world or my area is inhabited by energy healers and Reiki practitioners who I really thought previously was just something hokey, but turns out they have a big locker.
And
a big locker. And a lot to learn and experience and stuff like that. So, some people might consider positivity to be a whole different locker.
Yeah. Well,
some people don't want to play with that. Don't want to play with that at all. So, we kind of, I would say we build our own lockers, but sometimes we're just born into them and just never really.
We just never think to open that door. Or, we intentionally never open the door because we don't want to know.
And there is something there. So you got to figure out what happens now. Well, so when somebody knocks on your locker and opens the door, or what then? And that's the question, I guess.
What then?
What then?
So thank you for being here, listeners. Let us know what then, because that's the big exploration right now. Thanks, Kelvin, for being here, for putting up with me for more than the 4 years that we've been doing this podcast. jkwdpodcast.com for show notes and more. Vitamin K Daily, get your vitaminkdaily.com. Get yourself 4 weeks free. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. Show notes and more at jkwdpodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share with your friends, and we will see you next week. Bye!
A Better Humanhood production.